Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Urban Pharmacy Podcast. It's me, STACEYHEINY, your holistic nutritionist and plant-based coach, and I hope that you are having the best day ever. Hey, I've been in the garden tearing out all of the backyard boxes. We still yet don't live on the farm, so Kyle has been gone all of the summer long. Until 9 or 10 at night after he works his corporate job. He's been out on our farm planting and harvesting and weeding and doing all the things for the farmers market. I have been at home with Cohen, and we have been doing things here with the 3 dogs and 4 cats and trying to keep the house somewhat clean and organized with all of the chaos. Plus all of the farm harvest and the backyard boxes have been going, and I've been preserving and drying and dehydrating and storing and freezing all the things. So again, I've been busy actually harvesting all of the backyard boxes and replanting here in Indiana. It is actually early August. And I've been replanting the garden boxes to give a fall garden a go. So we shall see what happens. I've got zinnias and aster flowers and a yarrow and a ton of things, epazote and zinnias and cosmos and cilantro and lemongrass, and we're gonna see what becomes prolific. Swiss chard is also a good thing to plant right now. You could start your broccoli. You could start, some more lettuce, radish, carrots, beets. These crops don't take very long, but anyways, it's been a busy one. I've also been busy with Holistic Wellness Society. I have been creating yummy recipes. Each month I come out with 3 to 5 new recipes. They're all whole food, plant-based, free of added salt, oil, and sugar. They're delicious, and there's always a theme. So this month's theme is going to be summer harvest recipes. And let me tell you, they are good. Sometimes the monthly ingredient theme is like an herb of the month. Sometimes it's an ingredient of the month, or sometimes it's like a topic of the month. Like last month, it was sweet and savory fruit recipes. And I've been just busy creating some new resources for the members and also being present with them during our weekly live calls and planning out some new special guests. So if you are not yet a member of HWS, here is your nudge to come in and join us, because if you want to tackle your life in a holistic way, if you want to transition to more of a whole food eating pattern, specifically focusing on a lot of plants and elevating your health so that you can show up in your life, you can feel that vitality, you can have the energy that you're craving, you can have that gut-brain connection that you're looking for, and the reduced stress that you're looking for, and then having a life, of intention, because you are tapping into your wellness, you're prioritizing your wellness. You really do need to come in and join us. It's a really great community of women that are becoming 1% better every single day. That is what I harp. That is what I teach. This is a journey, right? This is not an overnight thing. If you want to start living more naturally and reducing your toxins, mastering your mindset, creating stackable atomic habits, really getting into the groove of preparing foods for yourself and prioritizing your wellness and, understanding the power of nature connection, mind-body connection, even making some things homemade, like, learning how to make some teas and how to grow your garden and how to grow microgreens and sprouts and like all the things holistic living. There's so many trainings. There's over 100 whole food plant-based recipes in there. And I believe there's currently over 60 other trainings in there that are focusing on the 5 pillars of holistic wellness, which are body nourishment, belief system, honoring earth, mind body connection, and success environment. And I'm here to help you along the way. Every single week, we're going to learn something new, whether it's a cooking demo or a guest speaker that is, a specialist in their field of holistic wellness, whether it's hormone health or cancer reduction or natural living or Ayurveda. We have a lot of different people come in. We also have a mindset coach come in and really help with that. This week, we're going to be planning on, forecasting the next several months of our life and what that looks like. Because if you're not currently doing that and you're not getting intentional about what you're doing on a daily basis, you're never going to really become that woman that you dream about becoming. And I'm just here to give you that reminder, because sometimes we just fall into the rat race of this life. It's a very fast-paced life, and I am here to see if you would be willing to slow down for a minute, slow down enough to reinvest your time into yourself, reinvest some money into your wellness so that you can truly become that woman you want. You can be in a community of other women that are also working on themselves, mind, body, and spirit. And it's just a great thing to consider. So if you haven't joined the other and, come on to the green side in Holistic Wellness Society, come on in. I would love to work with you. And we are waiting with open arms to have you as part of the community as well. Now, if you are interested in joining, just click down in the show notes so that you can see the VIP option or just a regular membership option. The regular membership option will get you our weekly live calls and access to all of our past trainings, plus all of the recipes in our backend website. And if you want to become a VIP and work a little bit more closely with me, if you have specific wellness goals that you're going for, or if you need that accountability aspect, click on the VIP option. Both options are a minimum of 6 months to do this, but I will tell you what, many of the members stay much longer than that because, like I said, this is a journey, but consistently working on yourself is one of the best things that you can do, not just for you, but for the rest of the world. Because when one person dives into their own wellness and prioritizes their wellness, it's going to create a cascade effect. And also, when you are at your best and when you are rising up to that woman that you are created to be, you are then able to serve in a bigger and a better way. So please remember that too. All right, with that said, I wanted to talk about habits today briefly. And I just did a Facebook Live about this, but I want to talk about the habit loop. Now, let me grab my notes over here real quick because I'm walking on my treadmill. I'm habit stacking right as we are doing this right now. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see my hair is definitely a little frazzled because I've been outside and doing all the things today, but that's okay. I'm showing up as me. And I'm getting my exercise because I haven't gotten to do that today. I've just been working and cooking and gardening and not hardcore gardening, like moving my body very much. I'm just, just getting my hands down in the dirt and pulling those little weeds, like sitting on my rear end and doing that. So I wanted to walk and I wanted to do this podcast to get this information out to you because it's really important. Let's talk about habits though. There's a habit loop. So in the loop of habits, there's always a trigger of some sort. There's a routine, and then there's a reward. So trigger, routine, reward. Okay. Trigger, routine, reward. With habits, there's a trigger, there's routine, there's reward. So for instance, when I'm walking here on the treadmill, my trigger is that I put my shoes on, right? Maybe I have like a special outfit or something that I want to walk in, but that's not typically the case for me. I just really wear whatever when I walk. It doesn't matter if I'm wearing a dress or what. I pop my shoes on, right? And I get into the routine, whether I'm on the call with a one-on-one client, or I am recording a podcast, or sometimes if I'm just working behind the scenes, I'll pop on my treadmill. It's kind of rare for me to do that. I really do better when I'm talking and walking. It just gives me energy, and like, this is my ethos right now. So I have this habit where I put my shoes on, I hit record. I'm either talking to my Beautycounter team, again, my one-on-one clients, or I'm doing a wellness chat or recording in some way, and I'm walking. This is my routine. Now, my reward is that I get off this treadmill and I'm like, oh, yes, I got some steps in. That's great, because actually this last year I've been significantly less active than I have been in the last decade. And that's actually been intentional. Maybe that's another podcast episode I'll talk to you guys about in a bit, as I open up more about my story and who I am, and letting you get to know me even more, just because I think it's really important as a wellness coach to let you know that, I struggle with things personally as well, with my health, with my mentality. Like, I'm always trying to, become a better version of me. And I definitely am not invincible to all of the things that you struggle with too. So I'm just a very real human being over here. And anyways, regardless, I have been walking a lot less. So now I've created this new routine where I'm getting back into the group. I'm walking, I'm going, and yay, that's my habit. Now I have this reward where I feel well. My dopamine has been released. I'm getting a hit of serotonin. My gut motility is better. Thank the Lord, by the way. I mean, that's something that I struggle with a sluggish thyroid. Motility, sometimes constipation, IBS symptoms, blah, blah, blah. And let me tell you, walking is one of the most medicinal things for my body, and it works very well. I don't do very well with HIIT exercises, by the way, high intensity stuff. That is just not for me. But back to the habit situation, guys. I've got my trigger, my shoes on. I've got my routine, I'm walking. My reward is that I feel great. I feel accomplished. I know it's good for my mental and my physical well-being. Yay. Okay. Now let's talk about like if you have problems with food, because this is one of the things that people actually don't talk super openly about, specifically in Holistic Wellness Society. They might post their wins like, hey, I had a smoothie every morning this week, or I didn't drink my Diet Coke this whole week, or I didn't go through the drive-through. They talk about the things that they didn't do. They don't typically talk about the things that they do though, which are grabbing for those late night snacks, or binging the whole sleeve of lemon Oreos, or, like, they don't typically talk about the things that they do that are derailing them. And nonetheless, we have to create habits that are going to help us not self-sabotage and get us into a routine of better living, things that make us happy, and things that make us accomplished, and things that make us, actually feel like we're becoming our higher version, versus continuous self-sabotage with a little bit of layering of like a good habit every now and then. So if we want to eat healthier, what are we going to do? Well, first off, we know that removing or taking a break from the foods that are derailing us right now is one of the best things that we can do. So that's just the first step. That's not even part of our habit. Our good habit that we're going to replace the less desirable habit with is to create some sort of trigger for us to, live out the habit. Now, the trigger for us might be that we actually buy produce. Maybe we actually buy the produce and we're not currently doing that. So that's a huge trigger, right? So we pull the produce into our house, we've triggered a new habit. Now, maybe your routine becomes that you have fruit and vegetables out on your countertop during the day, ready to eat every day. That's part of what you're gonna do every morning. And you're gonna put it out and you're gonna eat that instead of being tempted by other foods. You're nourishing your body, you're giving yourself the calories that you need. You're gonna reduce the trigger for having a binge on junk food. And then your reward is that you're going to feel better. Maybe you'll reach your ideal body weight. You know, maybe you have better digestion. Maybe you have more mental clarity. There's always going to be a reward attached to any habit, regardless if it's good or bad. Another example is if you want to start working out, like right now, maybe you need like a special outfit to work out, or maybe you're going to a Pilates or a yoga class where you do need more like flexible clothing and you can't wear like a dress like I do on my treadmill. So like maybe you're going to put your clothes out. Maybe you schedule yourself for the 6 a.m. classes, whether they're online or at a studio. You're going to put your clothes out. That's going to be your trigger. So your clothes are going to be out the night before, or maybe you're even going to take it the next level and you're going to put your clothes on that night and you're going to sleep in them. I know that that's extra, but listen, I used to do that. And that was one of the ways that I consistently maintained working out early in the morning. But your trigger might be that you put your clothes out. Your routine is that you start going to your early morning workouts. Your reward is that, of course, you feel better, you feel stronger, you feel more flexible. You know, you're increasing your longevity and improving your mental well-being in so many ways, right? There's always a trigger, there's always a routine, and there's always a reward when it comes to habits. Now, I just want to remind you that there's the same situation that happens with less than desirable habits. Maybe it is you had a hard day at work and that's your trigger, and you just want to drink. That's your habit, that's your routine. And then your reward is that you feel tipsy and you feel buzzed and you're out of the moment for a while. And then maybe you just get up and have another bad day the next day and you decide, I want a cocktail, I want to numb it out. That's your trigger. You had the bad day, you have the cocktail, that's your routine. Your reward is that you feel tipsy for a minute, but that always has negative consequences if you do that day after day after day and it becomes a less than desirable habit. Think about what you could be doing when you're doing something less desirable. What could you be doing when you're eating those lemon Oreos out of the Oreo package? What could you be doing when you're drinking that cocktail and wasting the day away? What could you be doing when you're driving through the fast food line because somebody made you mad at work, or you just you sat on the couch watching Netflix all day, so you might as well just go through the drive-through and throw the whole day away, right? Like, identify the triggers that are creating the less than desirable habit, if this is a habit that you're trying to break, and then create a better habit to replace it with. Like, instead of like, oh shoot, I had a really bad day at work, instead of going through the drive-through, or instead of having that cocktail, I'm going to go home and I'm going to color. You know, that sounds crazy, but like maybe you get like one of those coloring books and that like is really good for you. Maybe you do some art. Maybe you have a pottery wheel. Maybe you put some seeds in some dirt and put, you plant something new every day after work. I mean, can you imagine? What if you started sprouting seeds and eating broccoli sprouts, or, if you started growing microgreens, or if you decided to start a garden in the winter, like that's when a lot of people start drinking and doing things that are less than optimal for their health in the winter. What if you started planting a garden, like every day after work, even if it was a hard day, you go home and you start planting. You plan your garden. What materials are you going to need? What kind of dirt are you going to need? What kind of seeds are you going to buy? When are you going to plant your seeds? All the things. Like, you can create a new habit. Do you like that? You can create a new habit with a hobby. That's what I was trying to say. And you can create a healthy hobby that is going to become a good habit, that is going to be good for your mental and physical well-being. Okay. Now, habits are they're not easy, but they're simple. So I just want you to remember that with every habit, you need a trigger, you have a routine, and then there's always a reward attached. So when you're creating your new habits, I want you to think about that. Like, what is my trigger? How am I going to get there? It's not just like one and done, like, oh, I did it once, there's my habit. No, you need to create the trigger, the routine, and then know the reward that's attached to it. Because once you do that, you're going to create new neural pathways. If you do it over and over and over and over and over again and consistently enough, you're going to have this habit down like it's nothing. And then all of a sudden, you're going to be able to do something in addition to this new habit that you've created. It's called habit stacking. This is how you become your next level. If you think right now that nourishing your body and mastering your mindset and optimizing your environment and your community and tapping into your mind-body connection and starting a garden or getting more in touch with nature and going outside and grounding and doing all that, if doing all of that seems very overwhelming, rightfully so, because holistic living is a lot more than just diet and exercise, right? It's so much more. But the only way you're going to be able to get to that next level, to become that higher version that you want to be, that holistic woman that's, you know, really stepping into her purpose and actually living with intention every day and with the vitality and the energy that she desires to get there, the only way you're going to be able to do it is with habit stacking. So I just want to remind you that even if these things seem far off, I promise you, you'll be able to get there if you create habits today that you're going to eventually be able to stack, and you're gonna get there one day at a time, 1% better at a time, one step at a time. You've got this. So with all of that said, I hope that this was inspiring to you today and that you remember the habit loop: trigger, routine, and reward, and understand a little bit more about your human behavior. Don't get down on yourself if you have days that are off, but get right back on it and create those habits that you can stack and become that higher version. As a reminder, before I close this show off, I want to remind you, there's 2 ways that you can work with me, okay? There's 2 ways that you can really get involved with me. One is to join Holistic Wellness Society right now and work with me either in a VIP package or as a regular member. If you need that VIP one-on-one attention, click that VIP option. If you just want those weekly live calls and the resources, become a regular member. That's one of the most powerful things that you can do to prolong your journey and to have the success that you want, with the accountability, with the community, and with the tools and tactics that you need. The other way is to join my Beautycounter team. If you want to work with me and you want to create a financial stream that is a holistic business, that is in line with natural living, that is in line with earth consciousness, that is in line with building women's confidence through safer personal care that delivers results through great skincare and cosmetics, then highly implore you to join my team. Come work with me, regardless if you want to make $100 to $200 a week, or $100 to $200 a month, or $2,000 a month. The opportunity is waiting for you, and people are waiting for you to give them the solution so that they can become a higher version of themselves. They can be healthier because you have the opportunity for them to buy products from you with your own affiliate link. And as a advocate, you get to earn a commission, plus you get a discount, plus you get to make a really big impact in the world by helping women reduce their toxins, by helping them, again, increase their confidence and just improve their overall well-being. So those are the 2 major ways to come into my ecosystem and work with me and let me help guide you along the path to better living and to financial freedom. I've got your back. I want to support you, and I would love to connect. So if you want to schedule a free wellness chat to talk through the options and to see what might be best for you, just click down in the show notes. I'm here for you. Can't wait to talk to you soon. Be well. I'll see you.